Alright guys, so this is my 1974 Chevy C20. As you can see, it needs quite a bit of work. It is basically completely stripped to the frame. Good news is the e-brake works. That's about all that works on it. I've been basically just picking up pieces here and there, trying to get it somewhat ready. I have no motor yet. Well, I can't say that. I have a motor, but it's clearly not in it. I have a 383 small block Chevy that is currently in the process of being built. Then I will be getting a Turbo 350 tranny, and I'm not sure on what transfer case I'll be getting quite yet, but I do have the axles. That's the start, I guess. Axles are good, just need to be cleaned up. Steering box and power steering pump. As far as I know, all this works. I know my steering works. I just bought a steering column out of a junkyard. I had the old steering column over here, which was completely junk. Here it is. And it looks good at the first shot. Looks pretty mechanically working until you look on the inside here. The wiring's toast. It's all fried, so no blinkers, none of that. Then I go ahead and try to give the shift lever a turn, and if you can see that right in there, it turns my whole steering shaft as well. That's all seized up. I don't even know how that happened, but even down there, it turns the entire steering shaft. It all froze up inside. So that was junk. I couldn't get it freed up. I tore it all apart, greased it all, got it all together. It just wouldn't stop. So that's junk. No ignition either. The ignition looks like someone tried to steal it at some point, but that's out of the way. That's garbage. I'll probably take it down to the junkyard, get something out of it. But this is the new steering column right here. Same identical steering column. Came out of a 78 Suburban. I already had this steering wheel laying around. Go ahead and pull that off. All the internals are all in there. Have the ignition, shifter that works, and steering shaft. It all is working. You can see that down there. I turn the wheel. It goes ahead and turns it all down there, so it's all working, thankfully. The original lap belts out of it, I got these from a friend. This whole truck came from a friend. These were still in here when I got it. There was no seat. None of that was in here. There was a big rust hole all the way through. See if I can get a shot of it from underneath. Oh yeah. See all the rust. Here's that where that hole was. All the rest of this is having to get ground out, and I already replaced the metal, but it's all getting ground out. Then I'm gonna get it all coated. That way it doesn't get any worse than it already is. It was pretty bad. But then I got some body work to do here. Looks like someone rolled it at some point, so it got pretty tore up. But got some body work there. I had this window laying around, back window. I need my rubber seal to go in there, but that was laying around, as well as this steering wheel was laying around too. This front drive line came out of I believe it was a 84, I believe, Chevy Blazer. That's doubt it'll even bolt up, but it's there in case it works. I have no shackles for the rear. It does have 4-inch blocks on the back. You can see it. Good news is, guys, I got my tow hitch. These wheels and tires, these back two tires are junk, clearly. These were a friend's burnout tires. Wheels came off of a 94 Chevy 1500. Don't work. They do not work. I'm bouncing back and forth between either getting different wheels or grinding out these centers on these to make them fit over the 3.5-inch hubs that are on the front and back. But all the internals and the axles are good. The third member's all good. Spider gears are good. It's all nice and tight. Works great. Steering is all still dead on. Okay, this truck sat in a field for 15 years. 15 years sitting on the axles. If you ask me, I'm pretty sure it was a score. This truck was free. It was free. So I figured, hey, I don't have no paperwork on it. It is from a friend, so I know it's not stolen. He has the paperwork laying around somewhere. It's just going to be difficult to find. So, hey, crawler. It's going to be a fun project. I'm definitely going to be posting lots of videos. It's going to be definitely my main project for a while. It's going to be a fun truck to build. I've always wanted a square body Chevy, and now I have my chance. So I do have a lot of electrical stuff. I have my door hinges, brackets. Have the original gauges. I did reset the odometer to 0 all the way through. I have no front clip. Clearly, trying to get one from a buddy of mine, or trying to buy one if I can cheap. But it doesn't have to be perfect because it's gonna get pretty banged up. The dash is in good shape. I have the dash cover in the garage. I do have this bezel here, which does not fit in this truck. This came out of a later model Chevy pickup. That actually came out of a diesel. But that won't work, so I'm going to have to find a different gauge bezel. I have my cluster here for my gauges. That's in pretty good condition. I got all of my interior trim pieces. Every last piece of it is all in here. I have those pieces up right now that are in there. Those are just kind of holding this window in until I can get my seal. It is a sliding rear window, as you can see. But side steps came with it. That's the old heater box. This is the vented cab. Go around to the other side and show you. This is the original gas tank out of it, which is toast. No holes in it, but it is pretty corroded and rusted inside. It's filled with a bunch of old gas, which is nasty. But I'm not going to be using the tank anyways. I'm going to be getting a fuel cell to put in the back here. But it is the vented cab. Sorry about that. The vented cab. A little lever here. All functional. I did a complete heater delete because I'm not going to be using any of that. So that's all not needed. I just built this plate out of some thin aluminum and went from there. I will be having a lot of extra parts that are going to be for sale or that I might just give out. I do have the windshield wiper mech up there that I've already taken out that I will be selling or giving away. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I am going to need some wheels and tires. I have a bunch of extra, all my other gauges. I got some miscellaneous bolts and crap in there. The rest of my seat belts, all the seat belts are in here. All of these work. The rear axle is great. Solid. The gears inside are perfect. This truck only had 59,000 miles before it was parked out in the field and just stopped. The motor ended up blowing up in it, so they pulled the motor out, pulled the tranny, all the drivetrain, that was all gone. Scrapped the motor and ended up selling the tranny out of it. I have my transfer case, cross member here, my other side step there. So yeah, it's gonna be a good project, guys. I'll be posting a lot of videos about it. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be needing for it. When they put the 4-inch blocks in the back, they didn't extend any of the brake lines or the vent tubes or any of that, so I'm gonna be needing new brake lines. They did this kind of ghetto bracket thing here to try to raise it up, but it's not gonna work when the suspension starts traveling. So that's all toast. Gonna need a lot of new stuff, all new fuel lines, brake lines, all of that's gonna be need to be gone through. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun project. So yeah, just spread the word. Know anybody that has some parts, send them my way. I'll be having plenty of extra parts that I won't be using. All will be tested, gone through, made sure they are working before sold or given away if anybody has any of these trucks. So yeah, rate, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any ideas, shoot them my way. So yeah, thanks.